allegations that you have made that are patently and totally false and deceptive to the American people, especially your allegation that what was achieved by the recent agreement with the Vietnamese as being a fiasco, et cetera, as you were quoted in the media, is, of course, patently false as well. Now, I'd like to finish, Ms. Alfond. I'd like you to direct the witness to let me finish, Mr. Chairman. And the fact is, Ms. Alfond, that according to General Vesey, a man who served 46 years in the United States military, received a battlefield commission at age 17, worked up to be chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the president's emissary to Vietnam, viewed this as a significant breakthrough in his view, not mine, his view. A man whose credentials are unimpeachable, even by someone like you. I find insulting to him and the efforts that he has made for all these years as the president's emissary. Now, you are entitled to your opinions. You are entitled to your views. You get them aired frequently. And that's entirely appropriate in our society. But for you to say, for you to allege to families who I happen to know, whose long nightmare is over, who is finally over after 20 years, the wife of an Air Force major that I recently talked to, that this means nothing, of course, is an outrageous insult, not only to them and their families, but to those individuals themselves. You allege that you have been working on this issue for many years. I certainly know that and appreciate it. So have a lot of us, Mrs. Alfond. A lot of us have been working on it for a long period of time. And I don't denigrate your efforts and your patriotism and your beliefs. And I'm sick and tired of you denigrating mine and many other people's who happen to have different views than yours. Now I'm finished, Mr. Chairman.
I'd just like to comment that the family members have been waiting for years. Years.
I'm aware of that, Ms. Alfond.
And now you're shutting down? What method are we going to use in order to resolve this issue?
But, and Mr. Chairman, could I point out again, make one more comment again? The reason why I obviously appear upset is because I have respected the views and the opinions of those who are in disagreement on ways to approach this issue, on information that we have and evaluation of it. But I have not denigrated their character, their patriotism, nor anything else. And I resent it when a person like General Vesey, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, his efforts for all these years as the president's emissary, doing the best that he could at age 70, who has served his country with distinction and with valor, is somehow denigrated by someone who doesn't even know what information he receives nor what he has accomplished. And I would urge, no matter what happens with this issue or this committee, is that we finally lift this issue up to some degree where we respectfully disagree with one another on certain specifics. And to allege that someone like General Vesey and General Scowcroft and others who spent their entire lives in the military are guilty of some conspiracy without proof and some cover-up, frankly, does a great injustice to them and their service and also to this issue. And I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to take this opportunity again to thank you for all your hard work on this effort. I wish you every success in your next trip to Vietnam on Saturday.
Thank you. May I just make one comment?
One further comment.
Please.
I want to get to the other witnesses.
I didn't bring up the issue of General Scowcroft or General Vesey. I said this information has come to me, and I'm asking if it's true. And I would like some answers. It's what I'm asking. And family members have waited a long time. We respect the fact that the Senate Select Committee has come a long, long way compared to all the other committees that have been in the past. We're just concerned, as you just mentioned, well, it's the executive branch now. You are our representatives. How are we going to impress upon the executive committee that this is important to us? Now, I have gone to both the majority and the minority persons, and they tell me that if I get a recommendation from the Senate Select Committee to continue this on, then they would look into it. I've talked to the Rules Committee. They said they need a recommendation. The money is there, and they will continue it. So I'm hoping that I can speak with several people on the Senate Select Committee, and we can get a consensus that this can go on, if not with the Senate Select Committee, maybe a subcommittee with the Foreign Relations. Thank you.
May I say, Mr. Chairman, that Mrs. Alfond's remarks in her written statement are far stronger than what she just alleged. Quote, the recent 4,800 photograph fiasco is yet another example of committee duplicity. I'd like you to tell that to some of the families who have finally had this nightmare ended, Mrs. Alfond. I'd like you to tell it to them.
I've been speaking to them, sir.
No.
I've been speaking to them.
No, I've been talking to them, and they are grateful, and they are happy. And this is in the view of most experts, a significant breakthrough. Now, when you call it a fiasco and committee duplicity, then you and I have strong disagreement, Ms. Alfond.
Sir, it was not the fiasco of the 4 or whatever remains came back or information on remains. The fiasco was the people that stepped out and said, we have written the final chapter to Vietnam.
No one said that.
That was in the statement the first day. The final chapter is coming to its end, and we have not even come close to the final chapter of Vietnam, World War II, Korea, or the Cold War.
No one said what you're saying they said, Ms. Alfond. I have no more questions.
Let me